I'm going to put a little more detail into elasticity, and I hope that when I'm done with this, you'll come away with even better understanding of elasticity. What I've done here is I've got a table that I got out of an old textbook. It shows the prices that were charged for pizza and what the quantity demanded was at those prices. And if I multiply each by the other, 6 by 100, 5 by 200, and so forth, I can calculate the total revenue at all those different prices. And then I'll plot both of them. Here's the demand curve right here that corresponds to this quantity, this column. And down here is the total revenue curve corresponding to that column. Total revenue would always look like this, U-shaped like this. Okay, what is going on? At the midpoint of this demand curve, a point which is known as unitary elasticity, or elasticity equal to 1, I have maximized my total revenue. So what is useful about this is if we have a product and we want to know where we should price it, we need to know whether we are to the left of unitary elasticity or to the right. Because it would be nice to drive our pricing to unitary elasticity levels to that midpoint so that we would maximize our total revenue. So let's say, for example, we were here and dropped our price to here. What happens? Our total revenue increases from here to here. And so when that total revenue increases, it means that we are in the elastic region. I dropped price and total revenue went up. That means I'm in the elastic region of the demand curve. If I did the same thing over here on this side of the curve, if I dropped price, I would move down the total revenue curve. I would decrease my total revenue. So I reduced my price in the inelastic region and I lost total revenue. So obviously the goal of the company isn't to do something like that. The goal of the company is to try to get their prices as close to unitary elasticity as they can. There are some items that tend to be in the elastic region, like an automobile. It's a very, very expensive item. It's a budget cruncher for a lot of people. And if there's a significant price reduction on an automobile, there will be a significant response, reaction to it. That's why it's known as elastic. But if you had, say, table salt on your mind, if that was your product, you would probably be in an inelastic region. Table salt is such a small price, and we use so little of it, that if they changed their price, there would be very little reaction to it. So it would be an inelastic response, okay? So elasticity is the percentage change in quantity divided by the percentage change in price. And as you can see, knowing what it is can determine which direction we should go with our pricing to maximize our revenues. Okay? So let's say, for example, in a course you're given a problem where a company makes a percentage change in price of 4%, the responding percentage change in quantity is 8%. What is the elasticity and what's going to happen to revenue? Well, the elasticity is going to be 8 divided by 4. It's going to be 2. 2 is greater than 1, which means they were in the elastic region. Therefore, lowering their price would have increased their total revenue because they were in the elastic region. So that is what would happen, okay? So that's how you would respond to that question. Now, as an extra credit or an optional discussion, you can go into more detail and actually lay out the calculation for percentage change quantity divided by percentage change price. That would be the formula. And I've done that here where I've worked it through an increment. So for example, I have an initial price of 6 and a second price of 4. So I started at a price of 6 and I lower it to 4. 6, I sell 100, drop the price to 4, I sell 300. So there's the 100 and the 300. And if I just run this calculation through, I end up with elasticity is equal to minus 2.5. Now, it is the absolute value of elasticity that we're interested in, so that would take the negative sign away and be 2.5. So we get a price reduction from 6 to 4 would give us an elasticity of 2.5, which is the elastic region, and the total revenue is expected to increase there. So I could try another one here, just for example. You can kind of use this thing as what would happen if I moved it from 4 to 2? Well, we already know what 4 is. We got it. 4 is 4 and 300. So we'll make that the first price, 4 and 300. And what if we reduced it to 2? Well, the second price then would be 2 and the quantity would be 500. The second price is 2 and the quantity is 500. Right there. I push the button, I get an elasticity of minus 0.75, which means that would be a bad idea. I shouldn't make that reduction in price because it moves me into the inelastic region of the demand curve, which means total revenue is going to drop if I make that reduction in price. So that is how it all ties together. Knowing the elasticity, knowing where you're at on the demand curve in the elastic or inelastic region helps you determine what your pricing strategy should be. I hope this extra detail is helpful to some of you, most of you, and if you have any questions or if I've confused you, please let me know. Thanks.